Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'll be guiding you through a fascinating journey into the immune system, our body's intricate defense mechanisms against infection and diseases. We'll also discuss the critical role of vaccination, a groundbreaking medical advancement that bolsters our immune defenses. By the end of this presentation, you have a clear understanding of how the immune system functions, the importance of vaccinations, and how they safeguard global health. So, moving to slide 2. So, the first line of defense in our immune system is part of an innate immunity. This layer acts as a protective barrier, preventing harmful microorganisms from entering the body. It is non-specific, meaning it provides the same level of defenses against all pathogens. This includes both physical barriers, like the skin, and the chemical defenses like enzymes in body fluids. Here's a diagram summarizing those key points I mentioned. So, here are some examples of these barriers. The skin, our largest organ, serves as a tough waterproof shield. Its constant shedding helps remove microbes. Mucous membranes, found in the respiratory and digestive systems, trap pathogens in mucus and expel them. Stomach acids kill most harmful bacteria and viruses that enter the digestive system. Tears and saliva contain lysosomes, an enzyme that breaks down bacterial cell walls. These defenses work together to form the body's first protective shield. If pathogens manage to bypass the first line of defense, the second line of defense is activated. This layer, still part of the innate immunity, involves non-specific responses designed to contain and eliminate invaders. It includes inflammation, which increases body flow to the infected areas, fever, which raises body temperature to inhibit pathogen replication, and specialized immune cells like pathogens and natural killer cells. This defense is also non-specific and acts against all invaders similarly. The second line of defense includes several key mechanisms. Phagocytes, such as macrophage, engulfs and digests pathogens. Inflammation increases the flow of immune cells to affected areas, speeding up healing. Fever raises body temperature to slow pathogen growth. Natural killer cells identify the infected or abnormal cells and destroy them by releasing toxic substances like paraffins. This rapid response system acts as a bridge to the more specific third line of defense. And these are all examples of second line of defense. The third line of defense is an adaptive immunity, which is specific to each pathogen. This layer involves B cells and T cells. B cells produce antibodies that target pathogens directly. T cells include helper T cells, which activate other immune cells, and cytotoxic T cells, which kill infected cells. Adaptive immunity also creates memory cells, allowing the body to respond faster and more effectively to future infections. B and T cells are two types of white blood cells known as lymphocytes, are main players in immunocommunicable response. So after they encounter pathogen, the immune system remembers its antigens, enabling a quicker, stronger response if the pathogen reappears. This is why vaccines are effective in preventing reinfection or reducing disease severity. Antibodies or immunoglobulins are Y-shaped protein produced by B cells in response to pathogens. There are 5 types of immunoglobulins. So, IgE provides long-term immunity and is passed from mother to child during pregnancy. IgA protects mucosal surfaces such as in the respiratory and digestive tracts. IgM is the first antibody produced during an infection, forming an antibody complex. And IgE involved in all allergic reactions and defense against parasites. It triggers histamine, which released from mast cells and basophils. IgD represents on immature B cells, it aids in their activation. Acquired immunity develops through exposure to pathogens or through vaccinations. It can be categorized as active or passive. Active immunity occurs when the body produces an antibody to memory cells, either through infection or vaccination. Passive immunity, on the other hand, involves receiving pre-made antibodies from another source, such as maternal antibodies passed to an infant during breastfeeding. Both forms of immunity play a vital role in disease prevention. An essential function of the immune system is to differentiate between the body's own cells and foreign invaders. This process, known as self-recognition, is mediated by major histone capability complex, MHC short for. Tolerance mechanism has shown the immune system doesn't attack the body's health tissues. Without these mechanisms, the immune system might mistakenly target body's own cells, leading to autoimmune diseases. Where the immune system mistakenly targets cell tissue, the immune system must develop tolerance to self-antigens, the body's own molecules, meaning it learns not to respond to them. Tolerance occurs at two levels, central and feral. Central tolerance takes place in the thymus, where self-reactive T cells are eliminated during their development. Feral tolerance serves as a secondary checkpoint, regulating mature T cells that might mistakenly target the body's tissues. These two processes are crucial for preventing autoimmune diseases while allowing the immune system to defend against harmful invaders. Together, self-recognition as well as tolerance ensures that the immune system can defend against infections without causing damage to the body's self-healthy tissue. When an organ is transplanted, the receptant's immune system often perceives it as a foreign object due to differences in MHC molecules. This can trigger organ rejection, which can occur in three forms: hyperaccurate rejection within hours, acute rejection within days to weeks, and chronic rejection over months or years. These responses involve T cells, antibodies, and inflammation, ultimately compromising the transplant organ's function. And this is all summarized what I said. So when an organ is transplanted, the receptor's immune system may identify its foreign difference in MHC molecules, triggering rejection. These responses involve T cells, B cells, and antibodies. There are many strategies are used to prevent organ rejection. Tissues matching, which ensures similarity between donor and recipient. MHC molecules is the first step. Immunosuppressive drugs like cyclosporine and talidomide suppress immune activity but require careful management to avoid infections. Techniques like plasmapheresis remove pre-existing antibodies, and experimental methods like T cells depletion or regulator T cell therapy are being developed to improve outcomes. So, immune system disorders fall into three main categories. Autoimmune diseases occur when the body's immune system mistakenly attacks the body's tissues. Allergic reactions are exaggerated immune responses to harmless substances. Immunodeficiency disorders weaken the immune system, leaving individuals vulnerable to infections. These conditions highlight the importance of immune imbalance and regulation. Autoimmune disorders. These result from the immune system failing to recognize cell tissues. Examples include type 1 diabetes, where insulin-producing pancreatic cells are destroyed. Rheumatoid arthritis, which causes joint inflammation, and multiple sclerosis, where the immune system damages the myelin sheath surrounding nerve fibers. These disorders often require lifelong improvement to control symptoms and prevent complications. So allergic reactions occur when the immune system overreacts to harmless substances like pollen, dust, or certain foods. The release of histamines cause symptoms such as swelling, itching, or even life-threatening anaphylaxis. Examples include hay fever, food allergies, insect sting reactions. Managing allergies often involve antihistamines and avoiding known triggers. The most popular one is usually hay fever. So, yeah. So, immunodeficiency disorders weaken the immune system, making it harder to fight infections. Primary immune deficiency such as SCID, severe combined immunodeficiency, are inherited and affected the body from birth. Secondary immunodeficiencies like HIV/AIDS develop later in life and attack crucial immune cells. These disorders require careful treatment to manage infections to improve immune function. And these disorders can be presented at birth, which is primary, or quite later in life, which is highlighted as secondary. So acquired immunity is divided into two types. We have natural and we have artificial. Natural immunity occurs through exposure to pathogens or maternal antibody transfer. Artificial immunity, on the other hand, is achieved through medical interventions, like vaccines or antibody treatments. Both types can be vaccines or antibody treatments. Both types can be active, involving memory cell creation, or passive, offering immediate but temporary protection. Natural immunity develops through everyday life experiences. Passive natural immunity occurs when antibodies are passed from mother to child, providing short-term protection. Active natural immunity develops when the body encounters and fights an infection, creating memory cells for future defenses. Natural exposure to virus or antigen results in the development of natural immunity. That is an immune defense mechanism encountering the infectious agent. These are pictures of active immunity. So we have the vaccination and the infection. Yeah. So, active artificial immunity is induced through vaccinations. Vaccines occur weaken or inactivate pathogens or pieces of them that stimulate the immune system to produce antibodies and memory cells. This prepares the body to fight the pathogen in the future without causing illness. Active artificial immunity is long-lasting, often providing years or even lifelong protection. So, vaccinate. This is the summary of vaccine introduction. They contain antigens or weaken inactivated pathogens, for example, virus or bacteria, or pathogen pieces. The activation of B cells. The immune system detects the antigens, activating B cells. B cells generate antibodies which target and neutralize the pathogen or mark it for destruction. Formation of memory cells. The immune system produces the memory B cell and the T cells that remember a specific pathogen. If exposed to the pathogen again, memory cells allow the immune system to recognize and respond rapidly. So immunologic memory. Immunization creates immunologic memory, allowing the immune system to remember and fight the same pathogen more effectively in the future. They introduce antigens which are either weakened or inactivated versions of pathogen or parts of the pathogen, such as proteins. When the body encounters these antigens, it triggers an immune response, activating B cells to produce antibodies. Memory cells are formed that remember the pathogen. If the body is exposed to the pathogen later, the immune system responds quickly and effectively, preventing illness. So herd immunity occurs when a large portion of the population becomes immune to a disease either through vaccination or prior infection. When enough people are immune, the spread of disease slows down, providing the indirect protection for those who cannot be vaccinated, such as infants, the elderly, or people with weakened immune systems. For diseases like measles, achieving herd immunity requires around 95% of the population to be vaccinated. When a sizable section of community develops an immunity to particular illnesses, as a result of immunization or prior infection. This phenomenon is known as herd immunity. For those who cannot receive vaccinations, such as those with compromised immune systems, such as cancer patients, young children, like I previously said, those who are allergic to vaccine ingredients, herd immunity is especially important. It's typically achieved when a high percentage of the population is vaccinated. The exact percentage required varies by disease, but for most disease, 70-95% coverage is needed to effectively prevent outbreaks and protect unvaccinated individuals. So vaccinated programs have been a cornerstone of the public health. On a global scale, WHO, the World Health Organization, runs initiatives to eliminate diseases like polio and measles, and these programs have a remarkable impact. National vaccination programs such as school-based immunizations are also vital in ensuring widespread protection against diseases. Vaccination programs not only prevent illnesses but also reduce healthcare costs and protect vulnerable populations. So, national and local immunization programs. Many countries have implemented vaccination programs to target specific diseases with national initiatives, often including school-based vaccinations. These programs are designed to immunize children and adults against diseases like polio, measles, and influenza. Several factors can affect whether people get vaccinated. Cultural beliefs such as misconceptions about the vaccine safety can discourage individuals from getting vaccinated. Access to healthcare is another significant factor. Many people in the remote or low-income areas not have easy access to vaccines. Misinformation, often spread by social media, has become a major barrier to vaccine uptake, as false claims about vaccine side effects can lead to vaccine hesitancy. Better access and reliable information are critical to improving vaccine coverage. So the measles vaccination program has been one of the most successful public health efforts. Before the MMR measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, measles were responsible for millions of deaths annually. Widespread vaccinations have reduced cases by over 90%. However, outbreaks have still occurred in areas with low vaccination rates, primarily due to vaccine hesitancy and misinformation. This highlights the importance of maintaining high vaccination coverage and addressing public concerns for education. So this program saved millions of lives and very successful. However, yet again, education is very important before they spread lies about the vaccination. So benefits of them: they have prevented illnesses, they have reduced lots of infections. So in communities, they limited diseases spread, so less people are likely being sick when they're together. Economic benefits: obviously reduce people coming to hospitals, reduce the time people take a day off because they're ill. And examples of success was eradication of smallpox. So, conclusion: the immune system is a complex and highly effective defense system that protects us from disease. Vaccination is one of the most powerful tools we have to enhance the system, preventing illnesses and saving millions of lives each year. While challenging like misinformation and unequal access to healthcare remain continued, education, increased accessibility, and robust vaccination programs will ensure we can tackle global health threats together. We can protect individuals, communities, and future generations from infections. This is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.